Hello and welcome to Blitz album party number 7, which today is East by Joanna Newsom, and hopefully you guys get to enjoy that tonight. We're going to wait for our first challenge here. This is the only games we're going to play tonight. Our challenges, and hopefully we'll get one soon. Of my usual suspects, where are they? If they don't, I'll just play a quick little 3-0 and then we'll get going. Let's start then. Okay, so we've got a 2200 player to begin with. Some candidate master. I'm never sure about these people who claim the candidate master title. It's a bit like, seems like a bit of humble brag, if you ask me. Just getting some extra letters by your name. But full power to you if you want to. Keep the challenges queuing up, by the way. I just saw one come in there. We will get to it, so keep those challenges queued up, and then I will come to you when I've finished this game. Okay, and get going in the chat as well. I want to hear from you guys while we listen to East. Who have we got coming? We've got Mr. Thornton. At some point when this game finishes, we will give him a game. Okay, so I've got a passed day pawn, but those bishops are very, very good. Is there any point in trying to hold on to the exchange here? Probably. This hasn't gone spectacularly well, but we will continue to try and see if we can get rid of one of those bishops. That would be quite nice. Okay, so my idea here was just to keep everything looking at the queen side, and let's try to get this pawn rolling. It may not be so easy though. Don't think this has gone very well, has it? Okay, so the record today is East by Joanna Newsom. She is... Am I just dropping this pawn? I think I might just be dropping this pawn. This has gone... Oh no, I can play knight a4. She is one of the my favourite singer-songwriters, and some people find her a bit whiny, but each to their own. But yeah, she does sort of epic songs on her harp. It's all... bit different for our Tuesday evening delectation. This is just horrible, isn't it? I'm not playing this well at all. I'm not sure I have any compensation for the exchange here. Yeah, this is all going to end now. Okay. Right. So let's play our friend Mr. Thornton here. What are we going to have? Let's see what he comes up with. Please queue up the challenges and get involved in the chat as well. We'll keep this conversation going. We have just recorded episode 18 of the Chess Bit. Seems incredible. We were, we started just under 4 months ago, and yeah, it's just been an incredible little project, and thank you very much guys for getting involved, I guess, as we've gone. Okay, so this is a sort of dragon, isn't it now, I suppose, with that bishop on d7. I know Joe is a dragon player, but we're gonna just try to nullify everything that happens here by putting all our pawns as much as possible on light squares. Okay, yeah, I think we can get away with b3 here. Seems perfectly reasonable. Put our bishop on b2 because there's no good way to challenge that knight on d4. e5 just completely weakens the d6 pawn. It's not going to be very happy if he does that. Right, so I have a decision here whether to take on c6 or just to continue my plan of just putting all my pawns on light squares and then undermining the bishop that way. Or I could do that in a different way, couldn't I? I can play rook e1 here. Let's just keep everything fairly solid. We've got this lovely Maroczy bind, which is typified by the pawns on c4 and e4, having a complete Barney, looking at the c4 and looking at the d5 square between them. In the chat we have Roz. Hello Roz. How did my ECF fundraiser go for me at the weekend? Right, it went alright. I played a few games at the beginning of the 24 hours, but then I had other things to do. But I did get some good games. I lost to the eventual winner, who was FIDE Master Harry Grieve in game 1, where I was a pawn up, and I absolutely should have not lost that. And then I played Grandmaster Keith Arkle in the second game, and equally should not have lost that. I had a knight and 1 pawn against a bishop and 2. And it wasn't like the 2 pawns were connected pass pawns; they were opposing the pawn, and I shouldn't have lost that at all. And yeah, I actually only won one of my first 10 games, but I did do a stream from 1 AM to 4 AM, which was very nice. It went well. Chess.com were generous enough to give me a half-an-hour slot on Chess TV, which is basically just a mechanism for sort of it was like a streamer's showcase. So they showcased me for half an hour, which was lovely, and we got the word out. We raised a bit of money. I did a thing which I might do in a separate stream because it went really well. I invited opening suggestions from my viewers on the stream, and if I was able to win the game with that opening, I mean, I had some bananas one suggested. If I was able to win the game with that opening, then I would personally give £5 to charity, to the charities, and I encouraged that person to match that. I'm not sure if they did, but I think we can do that as a separate stream maybe at some point, because I think it was a nice little mechanism to get some different openings played and to have a bit more structure to the fundraising. I think that was the issue I had. The main problem I had was that it had all been a little bit rushed from my point of view, not knowing exactly when I was going to be streaming, for example, until late on, and it was perfectly my fault. I definitely could have done a bit more, I think. But it went very well, and they've raised, it looks like, about £10,000 for the charities involved, which is terrific, including the British Red Cross. Oh, okay, take the bishop here. I suppose I've got to take that. Joey's playing well here. Please queue up a challenge for me to engage with next. You can play me at 3-0, 3-2, 5-0. If you really want to play me at bullet, I will accept a bullet challenge, but it's not very easy to commentate, so I am unlikely to accept. But if we get to that point. Okay, so I've got this massive control over d5, which is pretty much the entire point of my setup here, but black is doing pretty well. Black is not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Incidentally, you still can donate if you wish to. The whole point of it was that the English Chess Federation managed to get 24 hours worth of streams in, and that meant that the entire thing is available for you guys to re-watch on Twitch, on whatever channel they got. And we've got a challenge here from Chris of the podcast, which is most unexpected. He did not tell me he was going to get involved in this, but that is brilliant news. So we can have our own little... Chris and I must have played thousands of games. Normally I wouldn't prioritise him, but he hasn't actually challenged me in this album party format yet. So I'll give him a little game of something. We've played thousands of Blitz games over our lives. I don't know what to do. That knight on G7 is a terrible piece, but it also is preparing F5, which might be quite annoying. I don't know. Do I want to stop F5? Am I that bothered? Let's say I am. I'm going to maybe try to... I suppose I can throw this knight into D7 and then maybe F7 hangs afterwards. Yeah, okay. I think this is good enough. Maybe Chris has come along because every time someone mentions Joanna Newsom, his ears prick up. Chris was the one who got me into Joanna Newsom in the first place, actually. So that's why you are fortunate to be listening to East. Right, is it safe to take on F7? I think so. Unless I've missed some kind of haymaker. Yeah, the reason why knights are terrible on squares one in from the corner is that they just don't ever look at anything useful. Have I got anything huge here? Is it just knight F8 and then that's it? Maybe not. No, I've got to stop this check, haven't I? Otherwise this is going to not work. I think I've got to stop the check on G3. But maybe the knight comes to F4 and it's all a bit unclear. Joe's defended this very well, actually. Ooh, well, that'll do. Okay, thank you very much for the game, Joe. That was not bad at all. Right, let's give Chris a game right with black. So we're going to be getting an E4. He used to play the Morozovich systems. I know he's playing 2 knight C3. Okay, he used to play 2 knight F3 and 3 knight E5 against everything. What are we going to get? We're going to get 2 knights, and I'm going to get probably a horrible position. D4 stuff. No, one day I'll actually learn some theory. Okay, I think I prefer the D4 stuff. And then the queen. I've looked at this. Chris wanted some advice, I think, on this line. In the London Classic last year, was it possibly against Adam Taylor, who's becoming a streamer in his own right? I can't remember. I've definitely looked at this line with him, or had a look at it because he wanted to have a look at it. And I can't remember whether it's you want a castle kingside or queenside here. Let's go kingside. I'm spending way too much time explaining the opening here, but that is okay. We have the resources. We've got the junk in our trunk to play a bit faster. As ever, I am lacking a challenge for after this, and we still have 40 minutes left of the album, and we're not going to stop until it's finished. So get those challenges in. Ooh, putting your king on the same diagonal as bishop and a queen. That's it's bold. Give him that. All right, let's try to punish it. I know he's trying to play F4, but I do. Okay. Alright, I suppose we just play C5 and then knight B5, C4. Where goes that one? Okay. I'm still a bit confused here. Okay, so... Oh, that's why. The bishop goes the rook. Completely missed that. Alright. Okay. Maybe this is not a bad exchange. Completely accidental exchange stack. Because I can get some stuff going against the king. I think. It's not like bishop on g2 is any good. And I've got to pass d-pawn. Who knows? Maybe this is garbage. It's always a risk. What do I want? Is there a way to avoid the queen swap? Knight c5? Let's try to use what we've got here and support that d-pawn as much as we can. We've got some stuff here. Okay, I need another challenger, guys. So this won't last forever. It's not going to last much longer, is it? Actually, that's just very, very bad for me. All right, and I'm just a piece down, and I'm getting thumped. All right, we'll try and mug through. Yeah, I've just been completely outplayed here, haven't I? Yeah, well played, Chris. Okay, I'll give you another one if no one challenges me in another 10 seconds. Come on, guys. Keep challenging. Otherwise, I'm going to play Chris again. 5 more seconds. Alright, let's do it. Okay. We have quite a good... Oh, he's not going to let me do it. If he plays the Dutch there, I play g4. That's a little pet line that Chris knows I play. Okay. Hello to new viewers. Keep introduce yourself in the chat and give me a challenge if you wish. I've no idea what I'm doing. I mean, this is just like a... Chris knows these Nimzo lines quite well. I think we take this and then play bishop d2. We're leaving e4 to play in one move. Maybe. I think we've still got e4 in hand. Unless black can play f5 here, which is not ridiculous. That should be what white is trying to do here. White should be trying to get e4, e5 in. And yeah, so black plays it themselves, but we can blunt that bishop forever and try to get f4 in ourselves maybe now. Hello Kevin McCarthy in the chat, welcome. How is everybody doing? What does everyone think of the if you're in Britain, what do you think of what's been happening in the last couple of days with nobody's friend Mr. Cummings? Don't wish for the stream to get political, but it seems to be the only thing that anyone's talking about, so I'm going to indulge you. Right, so if I can make f4 work at some point, that might be quite good. For now, I'm going to continue to try to clamp down everywhere on the king side, maybe. Perfectly believable. Jesus, no. I'm assuming Chris was relying on me taking this with the bishop, but I think I've got queen takes, and that just... Okay, d3 is still a nice square for a bishop or a knight, but I don't think it has nearly as much sting as it would have done. Defend that e4 pawn. We've still got lovely knight on f5. This is okay, I think. Got this move, have we? This might be one luxury too far, but I feel like the tactics just about work for me here. I might be completely wrong. Bishop takes g2, and then what? Just bishop takes a7. So rook c8. I go rook b7. Okay, well I take this, and then what? We've got a pass pawn. That's about it, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. And then c6 seems like a reasonable square for a queen to go on. Attacking d6 as well. And then b5. Okay, so we're trying to get this a pawn through somehow, and that may not be very easy to achieve, but I'm going to give it a damn good go. So Chris, by playing g6, has just stops himself getting back ranked, which is sure always a pleasure to do. But now maybe we have some stuff. Yeah, because now... Oh, I don't have stuff. I was relying on playing... okay, we can go into probably a drawn rook and pawn ending here. I'm going to do my best to prove that this is drawn. It may not be so easy. Keith Archer will draw this. That's my sort of my benchmark here. I mean, cutting off the king is probably not a bad way of doing things, and I think we can start to now bully this pawn. You can get it past h pawn, but I might be able to come around the corner. Not that fussed about. Is this just a draw? Yeah. Okay. Okay, draw. Thank you, Chris. Lovely couple of matches there. Who we got? Let's go for this one. Okay. And then we'll have we'll play Kevin afterwards, unless someone comes in. We will always we'll always keep it so that I'm playing people who I haven't played before or haven't played much in these streams, and then we'll go back to our old friends whenever they appear. We will always reward people who join us first, but then we can go back to the guys who are the meat and drink of this stream. Oh, that's just a complete finger slip. Okay, brilliant, lovely. It's a warm evening. I've just done a massive finger failure. Right, okay, so let's try and recover from this a piece down. It's a very warm evening, as you might be able to tell from being out in the sun today playing. They've reopened tennis courts. So I played a tennis game against my brother-in-law earlier and caught the sun a bit. Dear oh dear. Okay, so let's try and recover from this. How can we do things? Oh, this is rated as well. That's an insult. If you can keep the challenges to casual, it just means there's no animosity with ratings. But fine, I deserve it if I lose this. I suppose we shouldn't get too het up over ratings, but never mind. Right, so trying to play a piece down is all about making things happen with what you've got left, which is in this case not that much, but I do have the d5 square. That dark squared bishop isn't such a good piece. If I can pick up a pawn or two, that would help. All of these things. Just ways of worming back in. And also, if you are behind on material, play quickly. Put pressure on your opponent. Don't try to take them out of their comfort zone. Play things that just get going and put them under time pressure. And also just the psychological pressure of playing quickly is definitely a thing. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do here is marginalise that rook on a8, such that I might just about make things happen. Hello to Justin Haddy in the chat. Justin, give me a challenge. We haven't played in before in this format, I don't believe, so give me a go while I try to justify this horrible mouse slip, playing c4 instead of c3 in the bishop c5 scotch. Making things happen, I suppose, but I'm still, that knight on a2 is not a very good extra piece, is it? Ooh, is this quite good? This might start to fall apart. How is black escaping this? Is there a way? Then Justin, you should make an account on Lee Chess, so you can challenge me. This is where we do our challenge streams. I do different things at the other place. This looks over. I think if the rook moves, then I actually have pawn takes g6, and the king still can't move. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Hard luck, but that's if you win a piece, you need to try to get. If there was an opportunity there, probably to swap queens earlier with queen d4 maybe. Right, let's play. Give Kevin a game. Keep queuing up these challenges, please. While I let's do something completely different. Let's play 1b3. I haven't played 1b3 since I was about 16. Well, Kevin, as I was explaining earlier, I didn't really play that much at all in the 24-hour marathon. I played for about maybe an hour and 20 minutes right at the beginning, and then again on my stream from 1 till 4 AM, and a tiny bit on the Sunday. But I had other things on, so it's not necessarily that surprising. We didn't. What should I do here? What do you mean, Justin? You need to keep us guys to keep the show on the road. Do you mean the podcast, or do you mean just life? I don't know what you mean. Okay, so this line doesn't look very scary for anyone here. Should we try and make something happen? Let's start throwing some pieces at Kev. Let's start throwing some pieces into the middle of the board. Backgammon, Justin's mentioning in the thread. I must admit, I played for, I reckon, 2 months. Like, not properly, but like there was a local card room that had a little backgammon section, which was actually, for a card room, very, very friendly. And it wasn't high stakes or anything. It was a real kind of, more of a distraction. I know a lot of places where high stakes backgammon is serious business. As my phone thinks that saying serious business means that Siri wants to come out. And I just wasn't really up with the maths. I know backgammon's a very mathsy game. My maths is perfectly good, but I don't know. Because I like poker. I'm reasonable at poker. But there was just something different, I suppose. And if I'd persevered, maybe I could have become a reasonable player. But it sounds like Justin is abandoned chess for backgammon, which is a noble, if foolish, decision. Because Black's chess is where it's at, obviously. So once again, what I'm trying to do here really is just gain some space and make some of the black pieces look a bit silly, I suppose, in this kind of position where there's this central impasse where all these pawns are completely immobile. I'm going to try to make some things happen in the middle there. I've just started myself on the stream. I'm extremely sunburnt, aren't I? Never mind. I'll put some after sun on after I finish this. And maybe I just need the lamp on. Is that a bit better? A bit two-faced now. Regular viewers of the stream will notice I had a bit of a trim. I was getting unnecessarily it was like Castaway. That mixture of sort of light sunburn and heavy beard growth. Starting to look like Nick Offerman. I love Nick Offerman, but I don't necessarily want to look like Ron Swanson or like... Is anyone watching Devs? He's in Devs at the moment, and not Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman, the actual actor rather than the character. It's quite a very dark TV show. But yeah, he's got an enormous beard in that. Right, so what I've achieved here, that c5 pawn is really inhibiting the dark squared bishop, and also the c6 pawn. I've opened up my own dark square bishop. What I probably want to do now is throw my knight in to where the space just opened up on d4. I think that's how we keep building and building and building. That's not bad. Right, my light square bishop is completely useless because of all those pawns on the light squares, so I am very happy to jettison it. And now we can think about how to make things happen. I suppose, given my pieces, where my pieces are, it's not a bad choice to go after the g7 pawn. So let's get started in that regard. But maybe I don't want to play g4. Maybe that just closes the g file. Maybe this is very silly. Okay, so I'm doing things on the wing. Kevin is absolutely correct to start attacking me on the flank. However, I feel like I can get away with queen takes. Yeah, queen takes I had g4, I think. Whereas now I might equally have knight f5. Starting to make some kind of attacking plan. I mean, the bishop on h5 is just completely useless. My knight is going to be a better piece than it, surely. I think that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to use what we've got. Rook on a8, like in the previous game, just has never come into the game. And Kevin is also not necessarily in the best place time-wise. Yeah, so that's probably not a bad decision. But what if I just chuck my knight into d6? Or we can take this guy, and then if bishop takes knight, either way we get a piece. We get one of the minor pieces onto d6 here, which is just an enormous outpost that black can't touch. So yeah, I think this is what we do, and then go from there. Okay, now what? Suppose doubling is perfectly reasonable. Yeah, because the issue with the bishop being on d6 for black is that they can't play the other rook into the game. That rook can't come to the f8 square to help the other rook. It can't come to b8 to take advantage of that semi-open file. That bishop on d8 controls both of the squares where that rook could develop to. I suppose that rook could come to a7 and then try to go to f7 or b7. But then the back rank, yeah, so that's what's happened. The back rank just looks very airy here. I might start to worm my queen in that way. b6 square is also very strong. So we're starting to try to munch some of these pawns maybe. But bishop takes h3 could also be quite annoying here. It could be very annoying. Okay. This is annoying. Alright, so I've probably got to play bishop f4 to block the rooks. He's done it anyway, blimey. Okay. I think you're running out of checks here, Mr. McCarthy. I'm not sure that's that big a deal, is it? I've got here and then queen e5 with a pin on the g5 pawn. That queen has very few squares. Oh, you can play rook f5, I completely missed that. Oh dear. I mean, I never like to win a game on time, but that might be what I have to reduced to doing here. Blimey. This has gone horribly wrong suddenly. This is ridiculous. I'm probably okay, aren't I? Maybe objectively. I don't know. I'm just going to win on time, but it's okay. Well played, Kev. Hard luck. That was tough. Right, let's play our friend Marguillotine here. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay, what should I play? Should I play e4? Just play some normal stuff. Continue to play this bishop b5. So how long we got left on the album? We've got about 15 minutes, so keep those challenges coming in. I will be here for another 15 minutes, as will Joanna Newsom. Hope you are enjoying the record. Stay with me indeed, yes, 15 more minutes. So, yeah, episode 18, we've just recorded it about 3 hours ago, and I think it is very decent as a record. As an episode. Lots of different kind of topics. We look at, there's been a study on female players. Let's continue to munch these pawns, I think, David. There's been a study done involving the Australian Grandmaster David Smurden, even, who is he's an Australian Grandmaster, and he's also got a doctorate in economics. And he's done a study, or a response to a study, which looks at the differences between how women perform against men and the difference and against other women. And there's enough of a sample size to have brought out some interesting findings, and we discussed those on the episode. We also, what else do we do? History is quite good this week, so the history lesson that Chris Russell with Crow, who we just had earlier, gives us. There's 2 or 3 strands to history this week. One of them motivated by my own mother, who came across a certain chess personality from the 19th to the early 20th century in her historical research. My mum is a historian, she works at the British Library. And what else do we talk about? There's loads. Oh yeah, rules is back. We take a fide law and we have a little discussion about it. That's been a feature that's been more irregular than regular, but it's back this week, possibly for 1 week only. I don't know, depends if I'm motivated to do another one. But yeah, if you haven't listened to the podcast yet, please get involved. It is available, as you can see, on all good and bad podcast aggregators: Apple, Google, Spotify, iVox, Castbox, Podbay, Podbin, Podtrash, all of these, whatever. Your poison for podcasts. David's doing alright here. He's lost his Chesterton's a couple of pawns, but his pieces are very active. This hasn't gone so badly considering he's giving away 1,500 points. He's doing alright. This is much better. We played. I think my Guillotine challenged me a couple of weeks ago in a Blitz album party and didn't do so well. But this is much better. He'll give away his queen now, I've said that, but that's the way commentator's curse works, I suppose. Oh no, he's good. Queen D7. It's all good stuff. This stream is operating on a small delay, so it's definitely like he's heard me say that. Okay, let's try and kick some of these pieces out of my half of the board. Yeah, so you know what? Actually, what I'll do right now is I will retweet the study on our Twitter, which is at ChessPitPod, and you guys can have a look at it at your leisure. Where is it? It's there. Okay, so if your material down swaps aren't necessarily the best idea, but I think that's fair enough. That bishop on f4 was looking at a lot of dark squares. Okay, I'm going to retweet the first tweet in the thread. Yeah, it's interesting. There's some revealing numbers that say they could say many things. I think what we need to do on the podcast to really address it properly is to actually get a serious female player on, because it's not very. It's what the situation needs with regards to improving women's chess is. I mean, I'm involved in cricket as well, and I'm always. You need as many voices as possible to make sort of hay with the topic, because it's important. But some of those have to be female, and I think that's something I'll be trying to do soon. Maybe we could even do a stream of it. I don't know. Lots of ways of thinking about it. Do I have any thoughts on the Feingold Nakamura beef? You might have to explain that to me, because I haven't seen that. Generally, everything with Ben Feingold I try to avoid. I'm not saying he's necessarily a bad guy, just I find his certainly the trash talking very inelegant, and I don't see why there's any need to do it. Maybe it's all an act. I don't know. So we're ahead by 3 pawns. Okay, so I suppose it does get to a point where you can start pushing your extra pawns, especially when you're given a 4th one. But yeah, I think that there are lots of conclusions that can be drawn by this study that I just retweeted from ChessPitPod account, and we do discuss them in episode 18, which is out on Thursday. But yeah, it's always, I mean, some situations just don't need another man, or another group of men in this case, discussing them. Hope that we come across as very sympathetic to the issue. All we're trying to do is help. These pawns just throwing themselves up the board, and that bishop on h5 is not going to be able to help, so black's only really got 3 defensive pieces. And I've got lots of pawns and the queen. I suppose we'll continue there. I need a challenger, so please, somebody else. I can see there's plenty of people watching. Don't be cowards. Come and challenge me at anything. 3-0, 3-2, 5-0. Give me a challenge. We've got probably time for one 5-0 game or a couple of 3-0s. So we'll have one more game, and that should probably be the end of the stream. Somebody challenge me, please. Anyway, what else did we talk about this week? John's silly questions came back, roaring back today. Roaring back in episode 18 after a couple of weeks off. And as always, John is a very reasonable man, and so his silly questions aren't actually that silly, ever. I think you just saw that moth. I'm being attacked. There's a lamp on me, and it's come in. Oh dear. The hazards of streaming in late May on a balmy evening. Okay, come on, somebody challenge me. We've got time for one more. Anyway, John's silly question this week was far too reasonable to be termed as such. Okay, one more from our friend Mr. McCarthy, and then that will be it. Right, what should we do? Should we do something completely nonsense? I haven't played the Dutch ever. Okay, this is going to be my first Dutch. Let's have a go. Which line should we play? Let's play this stuff while I try to avoid the ignominy of being attacked by this dragonfly moth hybrid. It's bloody enormous. Do I want to swap this bishop off for the knight? Maybe. Okay. And then b6. Alright. I mean, I've taught enough. I'm a chess coach by profession, and I've taught enough Dutch players. So I kind of know roughly what's happening here, but Black seems to be doing okay here, I think. What do I want to do? I can threaten something cute here. So sort of, I wanted to get a knight into d5 because that's going to be a good square, and then so knight b1, and then I'm going to start really going for it here. Let's throw everything at that king. I'm not sure it's worth the piece to have given up the a file to get the a file, but there's only one way to find out. Hello, past pawn. I'm very well, thank you. Hope you are well too. If this game finishes quickly, there may well be time for one more challenge, but we will have to see. How long we got? It's another 5 minutes of the record, so it's not ridiculous. Not ridiculous. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the record by Joanna Newsom. Very different kind of thing compared to what we've done in the first 6 Blitz album parties. I suppose I should advertise Blitz album party number 8, which is coming on Thursday at the same time. And that is going to be Dilate by the band Vessels, who it's from I think 2015, but it was my favourite record of 2016. I first heard it in I think December 2015, and at the time I was writing for a music publication, and the first time I heard it was at about 5 AM after that publication's Christmas party, which was, as you can expect, a fairly raucous affair. But that was when I first heard it, and you guys, if you haven't heard it yet, will have the opportunity to do so on Thursday night at 10 PM British Summer Time. So that's 11 PM Central Europe, 5 PM East Coast, 2 PM on the West Coast of America, if you are out there. Hope everyone is doing alright. Okay, so we've got some chances. I mean, basically that knight has to come into the game at some point, surely. We've got opportunities here. We've got a good rook. This massive central pawn mass which I can try to mobilise. And yeah, this is not too dissimilar actually to the game we played earlier, where I actually just complete mouse slip and gave away a piece there. But what you should be trying to do in that case, therefore, is just play very aggressively. When you go material down, don't let up, don't give up, don't let the pressure off, don't take your foot off the gas. And eventually, like here, there will be some opportunities to get all your pawns back, as I've just done. It might be at some cost, but this looks fairly safe for now. I've got all these 4 pawns throwing themselves at the king. Get out of that pin. There's definitely some chances here to make something happen against the king. Which one do we want to take with? Probably this guy. Always nice to be able to threaten mate at any point in the game, just for the hell of it. King b1 might be the only move, after which I suppose I want to... I'm running out of time. Maybe this way, and then... Okay, this is almost certainly going to come down to a time scramble again, as always seems to happen. Oh no, maybe not. Very well done, kid. That's a really good finish. Okay, thank you very much for the games tonight. We've got one more challenger. Yeah, okay, let's give it one more go. Why not? Mr. Haddy is rewarding himself here, and then we've got 40 seconds left of the album, but I'll put something else on afterwards. Now, Justin played chess as he suggested for a long time, and yeah, he became a very reasonable player, getting to about, must have been at least 2050 FIDE, maybe 2100. Not sure we ever played. I might be wrong. What else should we have? We've got one more game, so let's have suggestions for a song, maybe. Let's have a suggestion for a song to finish. Otherwise, I'm going to play something. You know what? I'm going to play some Frank Turner. I think we might do this record at some point. Again, another one which is very important to me. Really fueled my early experiences moving to London in 2009-10. This was a bit early. I think this was 2006, 7 apparently. But yeah. I was very nearly in the video for this, and then I didn't. I got a mixed message of where to go on the day for the recording, and I missed out. But a couple of my mates are in it. If you're not aware of Frank Turner, he was in Million Dead to begin with. He was a sort of post-hardcore band, but now he's doing loads of sort of this kind of singer-songwriter stuff. But he's getting very big. Justin's played a good opening here. What next though? I suppose I should try to get some pinny things going here. Never a bad idea to try to get two minor pieces for a piece. Sorry, 2 minor pieces for a rook, as I've achieved here. Just means you've got an extra piece, the rook, and then your job is to make sure their extra rook doesn't get too good. But maybe we can achieve that here. I hope so, anyway. It's slightly precarious, isn't it? I think I need to play h3 and king h2 pretty quickly, otherwise my king might start to look a bit airy. But most of my pieces are protected. I'm still threatening knight takes d6. Yeah, let's throw that in now. The good thing is my knight on b3 covers the a1 square, otherwise that might be slightly awkward. Maybe I should have just played h3 there to get rid of that ever-present danger though. Interesting, okay. I can play knight c4 here, but I'm not sure what it does. I'm not sure I want to take that bishop on b2. Or maybe I do. I'll get out of the way first. Don't trust it. Don't trust myself. That knight now covers everything. Covers the e3 bishop so that I can take on back on d5 like so. But now we've got a fork as well. I suppose, are we threatening bishop takes c5 here? Queen e1. It's probably okay. Not sure there's any more checks coming. My knights both being on light squares means that they only look at dark squares, which means that his dark square bishop is not happy, and this can't last much longer. Surely there's some way of doing something here. I haven't got a rook, which would be the ideal piece to support me here. Maybe not. Maybe this is alright. Don't know. Is there some way of getting this knight in? Oh, I'm just going to run out of time, maybe. That's also very plausible. This one? I think this is probably just a draw now. Bishop c3, bishop e3. Yep. For sure. It's probably just a draw, isn't it? I don't know, maybe I can make something happen. Yeah, let's just draw. Well played, Justin. Good to see you, and thank you very much to everybody who played me tonight. We'll be back on Thursday with what is essentially an episode launch. Blitz album party at 10 PM British Summer Time. As I said, episode 18 is out on Thursday sometime. I don't know. It's a movable feast, the time we actually do it, but it tends to be somewhere between lunch and dinner. That's when I do most of my work. Anyway, thank you very much. See you again soon, and yeah, have a good evening.